If you're interested in getting the best use out of your home or your facility, these guys have the answer. Stay tuned for this, everybody. Well, we're back, everybody. Your Little Castle show. I get to learn. I love what I get to do here because I get to learn from the owners come and meet with me personally to talk about this. We're going to share what they are doing for the community. But as a business guy, I'm always crunching numbers, and so the intro I came up with for this show was talking a little bit about how do you make the best use out of your house. And I'm thinking, wow, my parents, they decided to add, and they had a deck, and they essentially covered the deck with an outside, but it cost $60,000 or $70,000, whatever it was. They could have done it a little more efficiently. And yet, it's good to use, and they kept it more open too. Because now, all you can really do is open a bunch of windows, and they have a bunch of windows in there, but it's not open really. And so that's where one of the latches were actually broken off. I'm like, what do you do with that? But yeah, this makes really good use. You can take a restaurant that has an area that, say, their internal is 2,000 and their outside is another 600, but as soon as it gets cold, they can't use that. You put these up, they can control the environment and the temperature a little bit, and make it usable, a lot more usable space.
So we talked a lot about we've talked about motorized retractable screens. We also do motorized retractable vinyl, which some residents like, especially for their outdoor space, because it's becomes like a 3-season room that opens up in the summer. But really a lot for restaurants. We see this all over in the South. Because they want to use that patio space year round. And with us in St. Louis now, our summers keep extending. So we know in March, I know when it's a 60-degree day we get in March, I want to go sit somewhere on a patio. But a lot of restaurants either permanently close them with vinyl that you can't take up or down, or they don't get to use the space during most of the year. So a retractable vinyl, we've installed at restaurants and some wedding venues. Extends it's a no-brainer from a return on investment. It extends their seating.
So now you're adding another a third to your business. That's a 33% increase in sellable people seating area. Now you can add a whole lot of revenue. You can pay for these things pretty quick and then be making a big profit on top of it.
Yeah, that's my background in accounting. I put together the whole ROI spreadsheet. If I help run restaurants, I know, this is a big benefit.
There you go. Write that one down. ROI. I know most people know that one, but if you don't, it's return on investment. ROI. You make sure I'm like, you will get that back real quick because now you've added another 33% to your seating area, and that can help people really enjoy, and then also get to enjoy. Whenever I get the opportunity, most people, if it's anything close to being nice, they'll sit outside unless it's raining. But then you've got this enclosure, can help you kind of get the best of both worlds. A little bit outside without having to be. We don't want to be indoors, especially in St. Louis. Just because of baseball, whatever our theme is, we enjoy all of those kinds of things. Very cool. But you do residential and commercial. You talked about some of the restaurants. You did a wedding venue recently. Tell me a little bit more about what percentage would you say you break down with regard to this percentage we do residential, this percentage we do. And I got to put my hat on. We didn't put the hat on the first show. We had it sitting there, but getting into the wilderness of it. But commercial versus residential, what do you say?
I'd say currently right now we're 98% residential. We're trying to get more into the commercial side of things on, again, the restaurants, wedding venues, things like that. We're trying to protect some of the outdoor spaces that they have. Like one we just did up north in Canton. They had a lot of the west sun was just beating on them and hurting the customers, or when they're out there trying to party, there's too much sun coming in. So now they dropped down our screens, which had a 95% blockage of the sun, and it's taken off a lot of the heat now, and they can stay out there and still enjoy themselves.
And that'll lower the temperature.
It will lower the temperature, easily.
That's crazy. Then they raise it back up when the sun goes down.
The sun goes up, they raise them back up, and now it's a big open area again for them.
Keep the temperature. Wow. So you're getting now they're expanding the. Wow. So we're doubling the space, or adding another 33% to the space used, but you're also giving the length of time it can be used.
Right.
People are like, oh, too hot, don't want to be out there, but now you can go also then later into the evening, cool down up. Okay.
And you take away the risk, whether it's a wedding venue or whether it's a restaurant, and you're like, I don't know if I want to seat people out there. It's supposed to rain, but it may not rain. So now you don't have that fear. If it starts to rain, you push a button and you drop the screen or the vinyl, and it protects so you can continue to use it.
Okay, now we're learning about ROI. I'm all about calculating these numbers so that we can make a profit here. If you don't make a profit in our little country, you don't stay in business. But man, we just added more time and more space. What else is there to add? I guess, can you add more I don't know, time and space. Those are the two big things you got when you're running a venue, or even especially at home. So you can make it a more comfortable living area for you to spend time with the family and the kids. Because how often the kids come over like, oh, it's too hot. I don't want to be out there. Oh, come over here. The motorized stuff kicks in. We're going to show some of those. We got some videos we're going to put up here for everybody too. But along those lines, tell me that I can only imagine there's got to be a number of times you guys have had some really happy clients, people that were like, and you had to help somebody go out of your way a little bit that was kind of stuck. Who's got a story for me about that?
I do have a couple of them where it's more of the motorized retractable. They were able to, a lot of them are wanting to put TVs out there now, watch their weekend football. But now the weekend football, as it gets a little cooler, they got a couple little heaters up in the ceilings now. They drop these screens down, even by 80%. Again, you're blocking 80% of the airflow. So if you drop those down, it's trapping the heat in there.
So it's not just in the hot, it gets helpful in the cold.
Helpful in the cold. A lot of them putting space heaters in there. Or if you just drop it down, and some of them have fireplaces in there. You crank the fireplace going.
Fireplace in the enclosed area?
Yep. So, and they just generate their own heat and everything. So there's a lot more spaces that have the outdoor TVs and just expanding their living area to get outside and enjoy the air.
Yeah, I mean, how often is it we definitely want to have that TV out there? You see these places that got these enclosed TVs, but nowadays you can just prop those suckers up. They're easy to move or close or just cover, and then you got a big TV. We're just pricing TVs a little bit. I've got a lot of Best Buy's out of TVs. If you look around, my football coach made that joke. I saw him the other day. But literally, like now you can get a 75-inch TV for $380 or something like that.
Crazy.
Put that sucker outside.
Outside.
Be watching like almost as big as a movie theater. Out on your back patio or porch.
Yeah, and I would say Jim, for as far as when he comes home and he's lit up the most, it's usually a story around, hey, you got to see what we did. It was this complex system, and we couldn't make it look right, and so I did this, and I did this, and we made it work this way, and I don't even know what he's saying, but I know there was some complicated that he made it look, and he's so excited that he was able to do something for a customer that was just not a cookie cutter he had to do some extra things to make it work, and they were so happy about it.
Well, that's the craftsman that comes out in many years of being able to work with your hands, and we all hopefully you get to experience that a little bit, but my dad he was a college admissions counselor, not that he did a lot of craftsman stuff, but at the house he would build things, construct, and teach me a little bit of those things. When you can apply your skills and then create something that now this is where people are living, this is where people are spending all their time, and now they're really proud about it. And you can tell he's had a good day. Okay. So. Well, we talk about how the internet has changed the way the world has evolved too, and so we get into the way that the social media, and I've got some great tips we share with everybody. But I actually wrote the foreword for this. It's the #1 seller on Amazon. It's called Magnetize Media. Foreword written by the Cardinal Cowboy. I actually ended up writing essentially the first chapter. As Carter, you're supposed to write the foreword, not the first. But I said, hey man, we got help. And this thing's really outlined. If you just look, it's got a lot of diagrams and bullet points, not a bunch of text. But tell me then, how has media changed the way the world works in terms of how you guys promote your business or how you even do your work?
The media, I think, is one of the best things for us. Google, of course, where people are sitting on their back porch, and what do is they start looking around like, hey, what would it be like to screen this in? Type it in real quick, and
STL Screens.
There you go. We pop up there, one of the top 3 in the area. And then also, whole technology is helping. So then if they're doing that, they can fill out a request form right there when they find our web page, and then it notifies us, and then we contact them within the next day or two.
Yeah,
this is what I'm looking at.
That is it right there. I will say that was a game changer for us. One of the things we were committed to when we started is we hear all the stories of contractors who never call you back. And I said, we're never going to be that. We're going to be the people that call back. And then we started our first year, and our growth was so big, we couldn't keep up. We lost track of customers. We couldn't keep up with who was coming in and who was calling, and that technology is critical. And so now that's the easiest way. I monitor everyone that comes in every day, and we contact people and follow up, and it's helped tremendously.
Yes. Yeah, the good old CRM, Client Relationship Management Software. That's what I used to sell for a long time, and now they're integrated with all kinds of fun tools, and I've got one I'm going to share with them that we actually can give people to test drive. It does a great job. But yeah, you got to manage this stuff, and technology has helped us to do that because wow, that's interesting. You're getting flooded, which is a good thing. But if you don't manage, you don't want to get the reputation. Like you said, some of those guys, they don't even call back. They don't answer. They schedule something and forget about it.
Yes, we did all of that the first year. And so thankfully, my background was implementing workflow systems. So I figured out how to do it, and it's critical.
Workflow Systems. There we go. You have me married to a workflow.
I know. Yeah, she's doing great for me.
Make life a little easier for the business. Well, that's good to hear too. But technology obviously does a lot to affect business and change the way things are done. Well, then tell me the process. I can only imagine. I kind of went over that a little bit, but it's as simple as they can make a phone call. they can send a text. That number you guys got up there, there's a textable phone number, 636-579-6946.
Yes.
Or they can fill out that form on the website, and that kind of gives them they're going right into the system at that point.
Yeah, that's the best way. Is filling out the form on the website is the best way, because you're tracked. We can't lose track of you. You're in our system, and we'll be following up. But you are welcome to call and text, and with any questions, we'll talk you through it and figure out. And so once they fill that out, that comes into me. I'm looking through what they're looking for. If it's since most of ours, 90% of what we do are custom projects, I'm scheduling either Jim or Scott, who's our other sales guy, to go out, take a look at their project and get them a quote or a bid, and that'll all come through that same system. Yep. Usually have a quote back within a day or two, and then if it needs a deposit, some of our custom will require deposits, then they put it down, and usually we can be installing within 1 to 3 weeks for fixed screens. Wow. Motorized retractables are custom ordered, so it depends on the turnaround for them, but we're usually 4 to 6 weeks within.
Okay, so you're 4 to 6 weeks in our custom motorized screen I can have in my house and installed.
Yep, that's the typical. Sometimes when they're really busy, it might be a little longer. So right now we're running a little shorter, so it just depends.
Yeah, well, systems, computers, write it down. These guys are on the ball. Kelly knows how to make that down. We were working through some of our stuff using Dropbox and Google Drive and our documents. But remember in the old days, you had to send emails back and forth, or paper back and forth. Emails, what? But that's good to see you guys are really on the ball with all of that. And technology has helped you to do that. Well, that process, though, is pretty well streamlined. And so the best way you recommend is that people fill out that form. Because when you call them, you're going to take them and put them in that form anyway.
That's the first thing we do is say, hey, if I send you this, can you give me your name, insert, because sometimes we'll type in the wrong email address or whatever. So it's easiest for us. But if they need us to put it in, we'll put it in.
And also they can upload some pictures in there. So if they can upload a picture or two of what the porch may look like, or what other repairs they may have, that's also extremely helpful. So then we can, me being able to see something like, yes, okay, I see what you have, that would be able to come out and take a look at it for you. Or sometimes I look at it like, if they have a post and the big pillars, sometimes we can't do anything for those. But most of the time, though, we're able to come in and screen something in for them.
But those pictures, that's kind of a game changer too, because it used to be, all right, let's go out there, let's take our pictures, let's come back. Now you can just have them upload them right there from. They can watch out. Everybody's got a smartphone now. Everybody, right? Walk on out, take your pictures. There we go, and then you can upload them right there from their phone and send them to you guys.
That's what's awesome. There's many customers, like a lot of times you don't have the husband and wife there together, that I can just send them a picture and say, hey, here's one that we've done. Then I send them the picture, and then they can show it to their spouse and be able to discuss what it looks like. So that's
on the back end, you both manage that, or is that mainly Kelly's job?
We both do. I'm doing the front end, getting everybody in, getting them scheduled, and then making sure we're following up. Jim and Scott are sending out quote. Once it comes there, then they're managing the quotes, and then we're scheduling jobs. And so we're working together through all of it. It's just different cues that we make sure.
But front, back, but with the CRM, you can manage all of that, and everybody's got tasks assigned, administrative rights, and all that. Kelly's made sure all that happens. That's important. All right. Tell me then, as we get to our halfway break here, actually, we're going to take that break right now. But tell me, as we think about this, what is it that you think sets you guys apart? And then we're going to go through a challenge that you guys have overcome that helps it, because we all learn from our hurdles in life and the things that make us stronger. And we talk about that here a little bit too with our little intro with the Cardinal Cowboy and what I went through and how we try to change the world here too. So take a look at that, everybody.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up.
We get to know the crowd a little better. You got it? I'm gonna hold the trophy. This thing's heavy, isn't it? Looks heavier on TV. You got it? All right. That's how you do it right there. Hold the trophy. On the count of 3, let's go Cardinals. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3. Let's go Cardinals! Way to go, Braxton. Give me some knuckles. Woo! Tyler, you're awesome.
Appreciate you.
All right, guys. Good work. We'll see you inside the Cardinal game.
Thank you.
Is that cool? Thank you, guys.
Hey everybody, Cardinal Cowboy here. I want to invite all of you to be part of my new team. No, you don't have to put on a baseball uniform and be a super fan. Now, it would be a good idea to cheer for the Cardinals, the greatest team in the history of the National League. But I'm talking about the Gold Cowboy team. You know I love to help people follow their dreams and reach their goals in business and in life. So that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you about my friends at My Metal Pro. They help people like you and I acquire gold and silver with a membership that lets you safely buy, sell, and store gold and silver. They make it real easy to get started. My Metal Pro isn't like the big guys you see on network TV or the big coin shops that take a huge commission. So become part of my Gold Cowboy team. Scan the QR code or go to goldcowboy.com and check it out. Giddy up!
Well, there we go. A lot of fun stuff we do get to enjoy and have fun with, and leaders in the community, and that baseball background we share there with Jim as a coach, coaching at Lafayette, coaching baseball, giving kids the skills for life. And then his wife runs the whole show inside.
Yes, pretty much.
She takes those. She's mastered those skills of running the business. But tell me, what is a big challenge? I can only imagine as a business owner and being in the corporate world, everything you guys have gone through, teaching. There's all kinds of challenges in life. Mm-hmm. What were one of the biggest challenges you've each have learned from that help you to develop who you are now and think you've overcome?
Yeah, well, I think, one, challenges in our business are just anticipating our growth and having the right people at the right time, and, volumes go up and down. So we're learning a lot with that. I would say from a personal perspective, it is for me, it's different when you leave and you go off and do a job and then you come home. And when your job's always there and you're the business owner, it never stops. So, right. We have one son, our youngest is still at home, and the number of times he'll roll his eyes at the dinner table because we really start talking about something else and then all of a sudden we're talking business. So how do you cut that off and keep, personal and business separate? We're still learning that, I would say.
Yeah, there's an art to that, because if you're passionate about what you want to do, then you talk about it all the time. Like, Carter, turn it off for a minute.
Yeah.
Jim, same way though. It's something that's obviously become a passion. But challenges you've overcome?
Yeah, and then the biggest challenge, I think, or the biggest blessing that we had is 17 years ago to make the decision for the guy to stay home and take care of the kids. And that was more because I was teaching and she was in the business world, and financially I was never going to make the money that she did. So we made that choice, and it's a huge blessing for us, and the kids have made comments about that. But then, it also just goes to how to cut it off, where I cut it off easier than she does, and I guess it's, yeah. I don't know, for some reason I can come home and be like, I'm done. I can't see it again. I can't talk about it. We need to stop it and move on. And
Yeah, that's a personality trait.
so-
It depends
Yeah.
on the type. I'm
Yeah.
that way. I gotta go. And then every once in a while, it's like, we're not talking about it. I've had to
Right.
learn that too. But,
Yeah.
So
but if you have a passion, like we talked about, that's
Yeah.
I think, has that fueled your success? Has that was helped
I
you?
think it's
The
and then-
reviews you've got. I mean, look at the reviews. I mean, unbelievable. And we're gonna show some of your work here
Yeah,
too.
and we just complement each other really, really well. I mean, her taking care of how to organize the business, get the things to flow, and then me going out and talking to the customers, making the sales, and doing the builds. So we complement
It's
each
the
other
right
really well.
skill set. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got the skill set. You go and, I mean, one of the things you hear in a lot of our reviews too are just people trust him. Like
Yeah.
he not only knows what he's talking about from a renovation, but he's a personable person, and he's, you know, so he sends to do very well with the customers because he just talks to them like they're family or friends. And that way.
Interpersonal skills too. As a baseball coach, you learn those too. As a teacher,
Yeah.
those are things you must master because you're working with all different types of
Right.
personalities,
Right.
and the way people operate and interact. And so, good to see that you're doing a good job there. I want to jump over and show a little bit about some of the clips, some of the pictures we've got here, because I know a lot of people we've referenced a little bit. We want to show what we're talking about. But on the big wall there, it's our 9-foot TV wall there. I'm going to put that up on the screen for everybody to see. What is that one? How many
That
screens
is
are-
two, and that
There's
is
two.
that is a motorized system. But we did a fixed system up into the triangles because, of course, you can't run the motorized up in the triangles. So, but most of the time they will raise those up. But when they want to come out and then again be bug free, they can drop the screens down. And again, he had some heaters in there, so on a cooler day, he drops those screens down and he can make it warmer in there for him.
Wow, because I can't even tell if there's a screen there.
And
Right.
yeah, both of those. So you can look right below the railing there on the left side, and you can see the clarity of no screen, and right above it was the screen there. So
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, oops, I hit my, here we go. There it is, everybody. I had
Yeah.
your website up there for everybody to look at. But yeah, that's what we're talking about. So amazing, yeah. And that's two giant, what are the estimated sizes of those screens? You probably know exactly.
I don't remember exactly, but I do recall they were probably, both of those are right at about 10 foot wide and about 8.5 foot tall.
Okay.
And there's technically another one coming back to the left side.
Okay, over here.
Yeah.
yeah, you can see on the right side where that beam is. That's the one motorized starting to rise.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's what that
Yeah.
extra.
Okay.
Yeah.
And those are going all the way up. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, let's go ahead here and take a look at a little bit more here.
Those are
Another
a couple motorized also there too.
Hey,
screen in room, yeah. So they're about halfway up. So yeah, you
Yep.
can leave them at certain levels too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It controls the
Stop 'em.
airflow, I guess, too.
Yep.
airflow, sun, if you just want, it's just, you know, sometimes it's just coming in at the wrong angle and you just need it down a little bit.
Okay, yeah. The
Yeah,
sun
so
is
they
coming
use
in.
it for a sunshade also.
Coming in at 6 o'clock versus when it comes in at
Yeah,
7:30.
you can see their heaters
yeah,
in
you
there
can see the heater up there in that
and
left
their
corner
fireplace. So
Oh, yeah, that's
this
one of those
becomes like a three-season
traditional
room
heaters.
for them.
Okay, very cool. All right, we got a lot to look at here, so let's jump up ahead here. Is this a little bit of the crew? Or
That's
we
just our
there.
family.
That's
Yep.
just our-
Okay.
That's the
We have
family.
Got the family there?
Four kids and older now. Our youngest is a senior in high school, so
Okay.
it was a good timing for us to start a business too.
Here's some big screens too. Holy cow! And then, now you can really see the difference. So there's that
Yeah.
shade on the
Right.
top half, and on the bottom half, where it was open,
Yeah.
you can tell the difference. So that's blocking UV, keeping the temperature down, and everything.
And I
There's
do.
three of 'em there? Holy cow.
Yeah, there are three of them there, and I do know the one on the very far left was close to 16 foot long, and I do remember they had at least the 90% blockage, so that means blocks 90% of the
90%
sun,
of UV.
10% of the airflow, and puts quite a bit of shade on that porch.
And
for
you're
'em.
looking out, you can still just, I
Right.
always say, it looks like you just put your sunglasses on. It just, you can still see out really clearly. It's just a little bit of a darker lens.
And
Okay.
then we should get to the fixed system here.
Here's a video.
Oh, that's a
a video.
video.
So
That's-
this is
that's-
where we get to see the actual.
Yeah,
That's
how it
one of the
goes.
motorized engine screens going down there. They
Yeah.
go pretty quick.
And once again, I do remember these are at least 90%. They might even be 95%, but I do know for sure it's at least 90%.
That is cool.
And again, the clarity of being
Holy
able
cow.
to see out, you can see pretty well.
Gosh, I was
still.
thinking about that compared to the stuff we had down at our cabin, little bitty choppy things. And they were locked in. There was no up or down. But yeah, that's impressive. That's what you can make a room look like. Okay. Another.
Here is cool is the one on the right is vinyl because you want it to be able to see out. So we do have one
Okay.
motorized vinyl system on it, and then the one behind the cook stove is a 95% blockage because he just wanted to kind of enclose the area and really didn't need to see out that side of it. So
Okay.
we put two different systems in there, or two different styles.
Okay, and that's what you're talking about. The vinyl's what's around the border you're talking about?
No,
Or
the clear vinyl there. So you have
really?
clear vinyl. It's like a window. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
glass.
It's like one big window.
So it's like one big window there for them now.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yep. So the one
Okay,
on the
so it's
right
not a
there,
screen, it's actual clear vinyl.
that's clear
Yeah.
vinyl
And
now.
it rolls up too.
and it rolls up pretty well. Rolls
Yeah,
up into
just
the,
you click it just like you do the other screens,
Yep.
and it goes up and down. So
Wow,
he
oh,
can.
now you got me going. There we go. Holy cow. Yeah, because they got those, they call it isoglass on boats, or what do they call that on boats? You get your ice, whatever it is that goes around the inside of your boats, but you got to zip it all up and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So it's clear.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
no,
similar
this
thing,
is
but
the.
much bigger.
Yeah, that's what for
and that-
restaurants.
Yeah, we have
that's a
that down
benefit
at the
for-
restaurant.
So they can
And
see
we have a
out.
wedding venue. We're going to be installing that same vinyl type system in, so they can again either weather protect it a little better, but
Okay.
keep it open most of the time.
Gotcha. All right. Man, we're getting excited here. We should take a look at these pictures, everybody. This is good looking stuff. This one looks like it does look like it's a restaurant, except you can tell it's somebody's backyard. But look at all the pit,
Yeah.
the fire pit, the
Yeah,
grill, and everything they've got.
Our kitchen. So this is a fixed one.
Yeah, these are fixed. These are screen panels that we try to do the large openings. So there on the right side, you see we went post to post, and I want to say those are at least 8 foot by 8 foot. The big one that you see, so that gives you, this is what it looks like looking out from the inside. The next picture, that's what it looks like from
Oh,
the
wow,
outside.
almost
looking
looks
in.
like it's
So you
So
get
they're-
privacy.
Privacy.
Get some
Yeah, okay.
privacy going on.
But from the inside out, you know, he just came home the other day, had another person come out. He's like, I didn't even notice the screen was in. Like
Yep.
you didn't
Right.
tell. So they've
is cool.
come a long way with screen.
yeah, the effect you can have there, and realize I'm looking up. I'll put that back up there. Take a look at that. Look how dark that looks.
Yeah.
So people gives you that privacy.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Okay, cool. And then here we have another
This
video.
is the vinyl motorized at one of the restaurants here. It's
wow, that's
Bartolino
fast.
South.
Bartolino.
So we did the bottom half to kind of create a sunshade for it, and then the clear vinyl up above. So once they gets down below the concrete part, then they got the openness in
Okay.
the clear vinyl, so everybody can look out like it's their
Oh,
windows
wow, it
again.
can go all the way down too.
Yep,
Yeah.
these go all the way
so
down
that's
for 'em.
so yeah. We were there last Christmas with our family, and that whole patio is packed. He had
Yeah, I was saying,
everybody.
I mean, you're making the business owners that have restaurant space like that. They've got to be excited to have you guys come around because now they just added. How many people can they fit in that room?
Right.
I would have guessed that's a. Oh man, that room
They
is.
fit at least 16 to 20 more people they could put out there.
Yeah, and do the math. It's
Yeah.
$30 a person.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and how much more that adds, and then 2 or 3 of those a night, and then during the day,
Yeah.
really boosts the business too. So, Bartolino's, yes, I've got some friends that hang out there fairly regularly. I'm gonna have to ask them about the screens. What do they think about the screens? Very cool. Big. Oh, wow.
This is really, really big
Okay,
opening.
so
We
tell
just
me
did
about this
this one, and they wanted to keep. They did not want any more wood posts going up. So of course you see just a 2x2 metal, splitting it in half over there on the far left, and then even on the gable there, we created, and so we're keeping it as
That's
large as
huge.
possible. Yeah, the
Huge,
one
huh?
on the left there that we split, it was 16 feet, so we just split it in half to be 8 and 8. And again, the big gable there was like it was about 16 feet wide also. So
Wow.
now they've got wide open view. We're not going to obstruct it as much as we possibly can, and they get to enjoy bug free.
Well, we've got a few
So-
more. We could go through some of the crew he's got working with
Yeah.
him there, Kelly and Jim. But check this whole setup they've got out, everybody.
Oh, that's the wedding venue.
This
we
is
just
the
did.
wedding
Yeah.
venue.
Oh, okay. And
This is the
one you
wedding
just
venue we
went to?
talked about, where
Yeah.
all that west sun coming in
Okay.
can block it for them.
There we go. Stay tuned for more, everybody. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Check these guys out. STL Screens, stlscreens.com. Giddy up.